diagnosed positive for coronavirus disease. Thank you for doing this interview, Miss Peveline.
Okay, thank you also.
Can you give us a brief background about yourself, where you're from, and how you got infected with COVID-19?
Um, in mid of March, I'm in New York. I'm a unit manager at one of the nursing home in Bronx. In March, mid of March, we have a patient had a fever, and at that time, we don't know what's going on. So when the patient went to the hospital, that's when she was tested that she was positive of COVID 19. So at the time, we don't have any mask. We don't have, we only wear gloves because the patient was just like a febrile at the time. And then I assessed her because the nurse told me that the patient had high blood pressure. And then the following day, the weekend, I think that was Friday, and then the patient had a high fever. We sent her to the hospital, and then she was tested of positive COVID. And at the time, I was so nervous because we don't have PPE. We only have gloves at the time, not even a mask. So I was nervous. I said, "Oh, I was exposed already."
Oh. Can you describe your symptoms that time and how you were feeling that time when you got contaminated?
Um, I just went home Thursday evening. I said I don't feel well. It just body malaise, and so the following day I went to urgent care. So I went in there and I had high fever like 101. That's the highest fever that I had. And I went, and then they sent me home. Nothing was prescribed. So I just stay at home. So when I went home, I just took Tylenol for the fever. And a little later, when they told me I was positive, my appetite was gone.
So you were tested positive. You were tested positive. When was the time that you were tested positive?
I think they told me April 3rd, 3rd, April 3rd, because I went March 29th. It's 3 days, 5 days after.
And Dr. Dale mentioned you only called him only after 10 days from when you had it, right?
Yeah. If I had known it, he can advise me right away to do a inhalation.
Dr. Dale, can you let us know again what happened when your sister called you?
And she didn't call me. She just sent a text through Messenger. Yeah, please pray for me. I'm positive. So when I read it, I was okay. I jumped into my feet. Oh, why didn't you not tell me right away? So I called her by Messenger and said, "What's happened? I'm having cough and difficulty of breathing." So I was scared. That was nighttime New York, and then it was daytime here. I said, "Why don't you just do the steam inhalation?" And what she did. So we can probably ask her how she did the stimulation. So it will be.
Yeah.
So,
Can you tell us what happened and how by applying stimulation, Miss Peveline, as advised by your brother, Dr. Dale, and how you were
so
relieved?
yeah, when my brother called me, I waited for my husband because I was weak. So I waited for him to boil the water. So when he came from work, he gave me a basin with hot water, and then I did it in, I think, in my room because I have also a table, and I covered it with a towel. I sealed I sealed the basin with my hand, and I had a stimulation about 15 minutes, and I felt relieved at that.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Did you put anything in the water or nothing? It was just steam.
No, just plain water, plain hot water.
So that will save us salt, Von. People will advise salt, so it would save us salt instead of putting so much salt. I don't usually recommend salt, just plain water.
And if
Yeah.
there's oregano, it would also help, Doc, right? As what you
Yeah,
demonstrated.
but if you don't have oregano, plain water is fine. If you have an oregano leaf, that's better.
What's oregano in Bisaya, Doc? In the Philippines?
I think it's calabo.
Calabo. Okay, I see.
Calabo.
And going back to Mrs. Pevelin, how many times did you do the steam inhalation, Mrs. Pevelin, and are you still doing it now?
Yes, I did this. I did that evening right away, and then when I woke up in the morning, another one, and then after lunch, and then before dinner, 3 times a day. When he said that do steam inhalation.
And are you still doing it now?
Yeah, because because my brother said Dale that before you go to work, do it, and then when you come back to work, do it again. Because we have still patients with PUI, like they are probably from the hospital, they already passed it, and then patients also came under investigation because of the symptoms that they had. They have no more fever, so we have a floor that I took care of the floor. I supervised the floor with the POIs patient. But after the steam inhalation, like 2 weeks, I went back to work.
Wow, that's amazing. Because New York right now is the epicenter of COVID-19 in the US, right? Is it still?
Yes.
I think it's, but the number went down. The number of death, number of hospitalization, the number of patients in ICU, it went down.
Did you share this modality to your colleagues, Mrs. Pevelin?
Nursing home. Yes, when I told them this is what I did, and they also told me that, oh, I did that too. And the other one, oh, I did that too. And I think they were not tested, but they had pneumonia. They had X-ray, and the result was pneumonia. And my experience, I had a scariest experience. I have blood pressure machine. I have autosat machine. When I when I was so nervous, I said, when I have shortness of breath, let me take a pulse ox. My autosat at the time was 87, and I was nervous. And I said, I cannot go to the emergency room because if you go there, either you die, either you be intubated, you come out alive. So what I did, I boiled the water right away and did a stimulation for about 15 minutes. And I took the Ultraset, it went to 92%.
Wow.
So I was so glad it went up. And I know that I have the medicine, which is the simple remedy, the steam inhalation. So I was not nervous or scared if things happen to me again because I continue the steam inhalation even until now. So I check my autosat every day is 98%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you expound more on that, Doc? Because that's a bit more uh, like technical, or like it's more doctor's language.
Yeah. The normal, actually it's the oxygen concentration in your blood. We call it auto oxygen saturation. So the normal is a 94 to 100%, and her autosat was 87%. So she's already ready to be admitted and probably be transferred to the ICU. When I called her, she was already in phase I think phase 3, ready for admission, and probably one day after ICU or intubation. So imagine just for 15 minutes of steam inhalation, her oxygen saturation in her blood went up from 87% to 92. That's already acceptable. And then after 2 steam inhalation, it went up to 98%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine you could see the simple remedy bond just by 2 applications of the steam inhalation. Practically, the shortness of breath, the cough were literally gone after 2 episodes of steam. Yeah, it's so amazing.
That's the truth. I didn't make it up because it was my experience.
Yeah,
You don't make that because it's your life, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Miss Peveline, what message can you give to our frontliners and our fellow Filipinos who are currently like in panic mode right now, or who's also scared because right now the cases in the Philippines are really rising, and then some,
Yeah.
I have to be honest, some are still skeptic about this modality when we create this video just for awareness and to give hope, and basically just a suggestion or recommendation that a lot of people have been addressed and was relieved, who were positive like you. What message can
Yeah.
you give them?
Um, the message I can give and advice to them, you have to use the inhalation, and it's free and no side effects. And it's there. You're not getting anxious or nervous because when you feel something, you have shortness of breath, you have some wheezing, just boil water and 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, you'll be relieved. You know the discomfort for dry cough, shortness of breath, I have that. With the stimulation, it gives me comfort. It's an immediate relief. Whereas if you use nebulizer machine, like like albuterol, my heart rate increased. So I stop it because I know it's a side effects. But stimulation doesn't have any side effects. It gives you relief right away, and you know it's there. It's easy. Boiled water, and it was already demonstrated how to do it.
It's natural and it's zero cost, Ma'am Peveline, right?
Yeah. Yes.
How about you, Dr. Dale? What message can you give to, again, to our frontliners and to our fellow Filipinos and hopefully to our government officials and also the people who are still, questioning this approach of doing the steam inhalation towards this coronavirus disease?
Well, what I could give, I prepared a PowerPoint for us to, how to fight COVID-19, and it is very. Can you see it from
Yes.
your end?
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Let me just share this message: how to fight COVID-19, and basically it's new start, 8 remedies. It's coming from the Lord. Nutrition is really plant-based: fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts. The reason why I'm promoting New Start is because it increases the white blood cells, the natural killer cells, the macrophages. Actually, the steam helps the body to fight the coronavirus. So if you're eating plant-based, that will stimulate your natural immunity. Exercise, walking under the sun, water, stimulation, fluids, hydration, orange juices. I also told my sister, why don't you drink a lot of orange juice there? When I stayed with you in New York, I always consume the box of orange juice, and then yeah, and then sunlight. There are several studies about sunlight. It converts your vitamin in your skin into D3 by UV light B. And then the melatonin is also a very powerful. It's produced in the brain. It's very powerful to fight against COVID virus. And sunlight also kills the virus. Yeah, just by exposure. If you expose your body, let's say 2 minutes, the virus is denatured or killed. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, the most. And then if you expose the white people, if they expose themselves under the sun for about an hour, they get 50,000 units of vitamin D3. For brown people like us, we will get 20 to 30,000 units. For black people, they get only 8 to 10,000 units. So sunlight is a very important factor in fighting against this virus. And temperance, self-control, is anything that is harmful to the body, like coffee, tea, chocolates, and sugar. Also, I will have to mention this one: burning of plastics bond. The lungs are directly affected by burning plastics and burning leaves. So I urge our Filipino people and throughout the world who are burning, stay away from burning because it will destroy the lungs. And air, forest bathing in Japan, they're doing this. They call it forest bathing. You go to the forest and walk there, stay there for about 2 hours and a half. and then you can increase your white blood cell count, and you have the best chance of fighting the coronavirus. That's why we have trees. We encourage our people not to cut trees. Then rest is very important. 7 or more, 8, say 7 plus more hours of sleep. Early to bed, as what we have done in the first presentation. 10 o'clock, you should already be asleep because of the melatonin production, which is peak at 10 to 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then the most important is trust in God. This is the positive mental attitude of these patients or the frontliners who are affected with coronavirus. If they're just positive about it, they will not succumb to the coronaviruses. So basically, it has to be this importance of knowing these 8 natural remedies. Dr. Godin, a WHO representative, he said meat eating can cause infections. As long as people eat meat, there's going to be some risk of infection. So this steam, this is the one that really did a miracle on my sister. I know there are some critics there, but you cannot be spooked with success. And it's not only my sister who has consistent reports on steam inhalation. We have other reports. In fact, I have collected around 16 cases already, if I'm not mistaken.
There's also studies, Doc, that this approach was used during the Spanish flu during the 1918.
It was presented by the Loma Linda symposium.
For steam inhalation,
let me just
a kettle with a boiling water and oregano, 1 leaf. It's optional. If you don't have one, then it's fine. Then a glass bowl, put it in, and then towel to cover your head while you inhale the steam. So around 2.5 to 3 cups of water. Pour it. Make sure you don't get yourself burned. Then you have to put this away and cover your head with this towel and aim your distance from the ball to your nose within 1.5 feet. Then inhale with your nose or your mouth with your eyes closed and start inhaling. Adjust the distance according to the heat, and then you do it for about 6 minutes to 15 minutes. You can do it once or 3 times a day. It depends on your condition.
So basically, the function of steam inhalation is to prevent the fusion of the coronavirus to your lungs, alveoli type 2. So my sister's condition, it was already attached. She had already difficulty of breathing, but still, the miracle of hydrotherapy did the miracle thing. So this is just the background of Battle Creek, where hydrotherapy started, Bon. I went there last year.
Wow.
It started in 1866 as this small building here, and it grew into this building. And this guy, Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, is known for the hydrotherapy. Of course, under the direction of Ellen White, who was giving him the direction how to do it. And fomentation, for those who are already in the ICU, you could do this, unless the doctors are amenable to this, they can still do it, It's a simple remedy. Just
And
blanket.
it's natural, Doc, right?
It's natural. You're using only water bottle, ice and hot water here. It doesn't need a lot of training. I can train anybody to do this, and it's very effective for pneumonia, especially at phase 3. Those who are already in the ICU. Okay, and hot showers, contrast showers. Hot shower, 3 minutes, then followed by 1 minute of cold water, and then 3 to 4 cycles. It is very exhilarating and it's very relaxing. Then after the hot showers, then rest for 30 minutes to 1 hour to get the benefit of white blood cell production. Russian steam bath, hot heating compresses, hot foot bath. So these are just some of the examples of hydrotherapy, but for this matter, fever therapy, this one needs skilled training. And for this matter, the steam inhalation is the one that really does or did the trick for my sister. Because the coronavirus is sensitive to heat and moisture. Increased temperature about 98, more than 98%, 98 Fahrenheit, that's not even 40 degrees centigrade yet. Plus 40% humidity. So if you have steam, the virus can be, according to the expert, Dr. Schultz from the symposium, the virus is the nature of kill. Okay? And with that,
Well,
That's
thank you so
I-
much for that wonderful presentation, Doc. Very detailed. And if you want to know more details about the process that Dr. Dale presented, you can contact him direct. I'll tag him in this post. And Doc, I believe the only way we can approach and defeat this virus is to apply this steam inhalation as the new normal after this ECQ, right?
correct.
Even people who doesn't have the virus or not infected with the virus, it's just like taking showers. So this is going to be added to our routine. I believe this can really help overcome and conquer this virus for everyone. So I hope everyone will practice. Doc, what are you going to say?
My sister did the right thing. Before going to work, she did the steam inhalation. After coming from work, she did the steam inhalation. This is also what I did. Coming from the city, like say, for example, I went to the hospital. So immediately when I came to my house, I just put my footwear, my shoes outside to be under the sun. And then my clothes go directly to the washing machine. I go directly to the shower, take my shower. After the shower, I did the steam inhalation. So with that, you have the so-called, you can prevent others from contracting the disease because you already are killing the virus right at the outset because the points of entry for the virus is through the nose and the mouth. So by doing the steam inhalation, you're preventing the fusion, the virus and the lungs. That's a very important for the new normal this time. If only our government would implement, let's say, for everybody, because we don't know who's gonna get it.
Just additional 6 minutes of the everyday routine, Doc, right? When they finish taking shower, they can do steam inhalation. And when they go out, when they come back, they also do steam inhalation
Right.
when they arrive, right?
Yes. If
So-
you don't have the symptoms, only once a day. If you're positive with COVID, then you can do it 3 times, just like my sister did.
So I just like to recap, Ma'am Peveline. You're now back to work, right?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, I went back to work, and last Friday, I feel that my shortness of breath is gone.
And you're not afraid anymore to be one of the frontliners to be exposed with the virus because you
No.
already know.
But we have already PPE. They're like we have all the mask, the shield, the gown. We have PPEs. So now we have to be careful, even if I already infected. But I have to be careful. Continuous stimulation, same thing. It saves my life. I'm just telling other people that are watching. It saves my life. I was thankful. This is my second life. For a lot of prayers from my family and friends, and especially the stimulation that was recommended by my brother.
Wow, that's amazing. So again, everyone, I hope you can share this to your family and friends. We are creating this video just for awareness and to educate people that there's a certain natural approach that you can use and you can use and you can add it to your new normal after this ECQ or during this ECQ, just so you'll not be afraid, you'll not be scared of going out because people now are in panic mode here in the Philippines. Ma'am Peveline, the cases are rising, especially
Everywhere.
in Cebu.
Really?
Doc, any last message,
Yeah,
Doc, for
everybody-
our viewers?
Everybody's panicking. But for me personally also, with the steam inhalation and what I'm doing, I'm not scared anymore as before. Like after the experience of my sister, it also gave me an education that how effective stimulation against this virus. Nobody can argue with success, Bon. So it's not only my sister who had this consistent findings. I have already gathered 16 cases, and they're all the same. With the stim inhalation, it takes only a few few stimulations, and it's there, gone.
Wow.
So thank you very much also, Von, for taking the initiative of interviewing my sister and me. We have created an awareness not only here in the Philippines, but I think it's throughout the world, because a lot of friends, a lot of Facebook, I don't even know them. They wanted to make friends with me and thanking me. I said, thank God for this, because, God has given us a very simple remedy. We just have to obey what He says.
Yeah, even in our first video, Doc, there's a lot of comments thanking you and thanking us for, sharing the information, sharing the simple approach, which they can use, and it gives them hope, because again, there's a natural way, and it's zero cost. Everyone can do it, even in the Philippines, no matter how poor you are, because a lot of people might think, they don't have, money for the hospital, so they can actually do this at their home, at the convenience of their home, and it's very simple. It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Doc,
And
yeah,
the cost
yes,
for
Doc.
hospitalization is very expensive. If you're poor, let's say most of our kababayan are poor, they don't have money, so they cannot afford to go to the hospital.
And I believe, Doc, being in the hospital, you get more exposed, Doc, right, with the virus. Even though if you don't have the virus, and then they advise you to go to the hospital, there's more high percentage that you're gonna be exposed with the virus, Doc, right?
Right.
So thank you, Ma'am Peveline, for taking this interview. Thank you again, Doc, for doing the initiative to tell your sister to do this interview. So before we end, Doc, can we ask again for a prayer of healing for everyone? And
Okay.
yes, please.
Okay, let's pray. Our loving Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this opportunity you have given us, that we could gather this today with my sister Peveline and Vaughn, that we could talk about your greatness, your love, giving us the simple remedy to fight this COVID virus. And it gives people the confidence to go out and, of course, be careful. And we are so thankful that you have given us this 8 natural remedies new start for us to follow. And we thank you for Jesus Christ, who died for our sins. In Jeremiah 17:14, heal me, O Lord, and I will be healed. Save me, O Lord, and I shall be saved. And thank you for this great day, Lord. And we thank you for love. We trust in you, because you are going to send your angels to protect us and give us wisdom to do what to do in fighting this coronavirus. This we ask in the loving name of our Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Doc, thank you
you.
again, Doc. Thank you, Ma'am Peveline. It was nice to meet you here in Zoom. Hopefully, we can meet in person. And
Sure.
thank you guys for watching. I hope, again, please share this to your family and friends. It may save lives. So, thank you, and God bless everyone.